crazy things happen. All right. We're back on live now. So people come back on and tell us if you can hear us with the sound. Okay, so I have Nicola Irvasi and Kevin Albert. I want to welcome them. They're from Mare Nostrum Elements is the name of their company. And Jason Peck has joined us. Jake, folks, let me know if you can hear us now, because we were having some sound issues. Massimo has joined us. Connor Weiss has joined us. Just let me know if you can hear us, okay? Okay. Adesso è perfetto, dice Vaz. Okay, clear, and it's okay. So we just restarted. Sometimes there's a metaphor for life. Sometimes things don't work out in the beginning, and you restart. Perfect. Thank you, Jimmy, for your patience with us. So we are on Armed Radio. Let us just forge ahead into this. Okay, so these two guys who I met probably about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit more. Mm-hmm. All right, so Nicola is from Italy, born in Italy. Nicola, tell us where you were born.
I was born nearby, but I grew up in Rocella Ionica, which is a little town facing Greece on the Ionian Sea, between Reggio and Catanzaro, which are the major cities down there. But my hometown is like, there's not very much around there except beautiful seas and beautiful beaches
and good food.
Oh
and God. Massimo, who was on our show, Massimo Cusado was on our show a few weeks ago, and he talked about and Cheryl also. They talked about that little town and some of the shows that you did that were inspired by that region.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I was very impressed by all that and the sea and how you brought the Mediterranean voices, right?
And me and Massimo were way back. I know Massimo since high school.
Really?
Yes.
Isn't that crazy? Yes. How wonderful. And now Massimo's here. He's in the building, actually.
Yes.
Massimo Cusado is in the building. All right. So he's going to join us for dinner afterwards. Now, and Kevin, tell us where you grew up.
I grew up in Vermont. I was born in Connecticut, but really I consider myself a Vermonter. I grew up there. All my formative years were in Vermont. And when I dream, it's still in the house that I grew up in Vermont.
Really? Isn't that something?
Yeah, and Vermont, you would think it is a very small place, but there was a lot of art where I grew up, and you just had to find it. And I was really lucky to do a lot of theater and a lot of singing and a lot of, I played the instruments.
Which instruments did you play?
Trumpet.
Oh, cool.
But there was like a serious trumpet player. I thought for a while that's what I wanted to do.
Is that true? I didn't know that.
Theater was right there with it, and it won out in the end.
So you kind of sometimes have to choose one or the other, right?
I couldn't do both.
All right, so everybody else has joined us again, and the sound seems to be working. Wonderful.
Seamus McGuire joined. We know Seamus.
Hey, Seamus. He's Dan's husband.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
And I know Dan from downtown, so I love Seamus.
Right, me too.
How wonderful. Great. Okay, so now Jay Rivera. You know Jay Rivera?
Yes, I guess so.
Jay Rivera is a wonderful actor. Isn't this cool that all my friends now that these paths are crossing? Michael Barberi has joined us. Michael Gargani has joined us. So many wonderful people. So, okay, now you guys are doing so many things, and I really want to make sure that we hit everything that we're doing. But I want to talk to you about growing up, because I always am so interested, because we're all creative people, and we come to New York, and we all have, we all mesh because we come from these creative backgrounds and this love, and we all gather in this place, the center of the universe, right, to do our art. So Kevin, when you were how young were you when you realized that you had some sort of talent or some drive, or you just wanted to be on stage?
The first play that I was in, I was 8 years old, and I knew from then, and knew that I wanted to go.
And what was the play? Do you remember?
I don't even know. It was at our town library, and I was a spider, and my costume had I had 8 arms,
Yeah.
And I just thought that was the coolest thing, and then started to do summer stock theater up there. I was like the local kid.
It's a great place to do it. New England is a great place.
The Weston Playhouse is the most wonderful place up there.
Wow.
And so I give a shout out to the Weston Playhouse, but. There were a lot of opportunities for me to do something more than just, be a Vermont kid.
Okay.
I never owned a car because I was always working to pay for dance classes and things like that. I was a very focused kid.
Wow.
On
When's your
wanting
birthday?
To do this, August 12th.
Oh, okay. So you're a Leo.
I'm a Leo, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, now, and you said you went to Boston Conservatory, right?
I did, yeah. I went to the Boston Conservatory and for 4 years, and I loved Boston because it was kind of like a trainer city. It was
true. That is true.
It's a good place to start. It's a great place to go to college. and also the Boston Conservatory was a great school. I mean, they've had a lot of investment in these last years. It really looked like it was 1965 when I went, but it still was a great place to go, and I loved every minute of it. It was a challenge, and then I moved to New York City and performed for about 4 years in national tours and European tours and things like that.
Wow, really?
Yeah. And
See, I didn't know that either. I was
Yeah.
telling these guys that earlier, we were talking about a lot of things that they're doing, and I didn't know a lot these other things about them. And I said, one of the things I love about the show is I learn about my friends from these shows,
Yeah,
more
sure.
about them, more than I thought I knew, So you were touring and doing
Yeah.
all that. And Nicola, let's go back to you.
Yeah.
So as a young boy in Italy, were you surrounded by music, or were you one of the only people in your town that?
I grew up. My hometown is like 9,000 people.
Okay.
In the summer.
In the
Which means
summer when it's
in
busy.
the winter it's like 6,000, 7,000.
Yeah.
And so I grew up basically in a very small town. Everybody knows everybody. And if you can imagine any small town, even in the States or in Germany, you don't have a lot of arts around. You have the dance school, you have the guy who does music, you have the guy who teaches theater, but it's everything amateur in a sense.
Right.
It's all like little small town. But I would be the guy who wants to, if they want to say, oh, who wants to sing? I go sing and do the little, festival.
When's your birthday? You Gemini?
No, I'm Virgo.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
September 17.
All right, my
Yeah.
sister's a Virgo.
So I would go and do the singing competition. I would do the little festival for Balera competition, stuff like that. But I started training. I never trained in music, or I did a couple of years with training for piano. A couple of years training for to sound to be in a band. So I would train only for 1 year to be in the band.
There,
Yeah,
in
in
your
my
small
hometown.
town.
In my hometown.
So there must have been. See, that's the thing about Italians, though. There's always art.
Yeah,
It's
but it
always
was
art.
never to the level that I was like to do anything professional with it.
Okay.
I started doing dance, which I started very late. I was 17 when I started doing dance.
Which sounds like early to us, but if you are a dancer, any dancer will tell you.
Yeah.
Most dancers
It's
start very young.
For a man, it's in a
Right?
sense, yeah.
Yeah.
For a man, there is more of a leeway for boys, but starting dance at 17, it's anyway in any country.
And this is in Italy, so there was a company.
No, there was a dance school in my
Oh,
hometown.
okay.
Yeah, my hometown, the dance school Lydia Strangio became now one of my best friends there.
His mom used to hand sew costumes for him.
Yes.
Of course, my
Yeah.
mother did the same thing for me.
Yeah,
all
with
all
lining and
Italian
everything.
mothers make your costumes.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
That's just, and Cuban mothers too, because Judy, my girlfriend's mom, made all her costumes too.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. A lot of these different cultures are very good at that.
Right.
Yeah, and
My Aunt
that was
Anna.
another option.
Yeah.
That was the I was
And
the,
especially if you grow up and you're not wealthy,
Yeah.
That's what your parents cook
Yeah.
every meal.
Yep.
And your clothes are made because that's how they learn, and
right.
they pass that on. But it's actually very beautiful.
And those were elaborate. I mean, it's not Halloween costume or Carnival.
No, they're
elaborate with
elaborate.
the paillettes and the rhinestones and like a specific way of clothing because it's dance. It's like
Right.
that. So you can get. Actually, I did get naked once on stage.
You did?
By mistake, yes.
Well, that was a bit
I did
memorable
expose myself.
performance.
Not by my will, by will. But I was saying that because I started late, then I was fresh in my interest and I was serious about it.
Right,
So after 2
right.
years, started with my dance teacher. Then I moved to Rome.
Which
and
I
I
love.
told-
I love Rome so much. Oh my God.
Yeah, to this day I miss Rome. I
Yeah,
feel
Rome
that,
is beautiful.
It's very
Rome is so
different
beautiful.
from when I
Right?
used to live there. But because I started late, then I told my parents when I was 20, I'm gonna go to Rome. If you want me to take university, I'll go, or college, I'll go. But you need to know that this is my main goal, and
Wow.
and they supported me to
How
be in
wonderful.
Rome. And I wasn't having a lot of financial support because I didn't have a lot of money.
Well, that's what it
But
is. Yeah.
They gave me enough for me to start looking for work or start looking for pay the schooling or pay my transportation, and so that's what.
Now,
I was
what are
able
the
to live in
universities
Rome.
in Italy like? Are they as expensive as the universities here? No,
Nowhere
it's
near
different.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, keep in mind that I'm here for 20 years exactly.
Okay.
So I would say whatever I say.
Oh
hey,
no,
Joe!
Owen,
Owen!
Nicola, we need pictures of you in these costumes.
Oh my God!
These costumes
I will
don't
get
fit
it to you.
anymore.
Can we get a shout out? Joe Montelone is our,
course, you
yeah.
Hey, Joe.
Hey,
How you
Joe.
doing?
Joe Montelone is a fabulous dancer, and not because he's a friend of ours, but he's one of our choreographers
Really?
for the Emerging Choreography Series 2019.
Yeah.
We're super happy to have him around, and he's one of these people that, you know, when you know people, you don't even know why you know this name.
Yeah.
But Joe, I know his company for years, and when he was auditioning this year for the program, I was like, how are we gonna get it? How we can get him? Because
Yeah.
I love his way. He's Italian, of course, background, but one of these people that you know without having seen him work.
Yeah.
You just have a feel that you have people in common or people talking about. So
So
Joe is
his
one of them.
reputation precedes him.
Yeah,
he has a great
exactly.
And his work
Exactly.
precedes him. Now, since we have Joe there, why don't we? Because I do want to continue to talk
Yeah.
about your training and how you got here. But what is the choreographers? Since we have Joe here, what is
See.
this choreographer series that you were telling me about?
Yes, the Emerging Choreography Series basically it's the latest spin out of our training called
Okay.
The Way Within. The Way Within was born
The Way
as
Within.
yeah,
Okay.
was born as a training program. It's not a program; it's more like a way of training together
Okay.
that me and Kevin put together in 2001, 2002, because we felt that me, from my dance background, I could never really say that I can act because people would judge me for not being an actor. So don't you dare talk on stage. And Kevin, being mostly from an acting career, there was something missing in the movement part of it. Not for his career personally, but in general, when you do programming or classes, it even in the States, it's theater, dance. If you go in between, if it's not musical theater, it's nothing.
Right.
Right.
I
So
think I think it's changing a little bit, but like when I was in college, we had dance classes, and the dance teachers or the choreographers that we worked with in college, excuse me, a very good school, they would not ask you about the meaning of the dance until the very last moment.
Wow.
And so we felt like that meaning is something that you have to practice, just like the movements, because
Right.
like an actor practices what's being expressed. They don't just it just doesn't happen like magic. And so we wanted to create a training where dancers could connect more physically and where actors could connect more physically. And we came up with this sort of movement theater training. And through the years, people would give us feedback, and a lot of choreographers came back to us and said, you know, like, wow, this training is something that I built a new piece because of this training,
Yeah.
or I am a teacher elsewhere and I bring these exercises into my class to open
Wow.
up my students. And so then as time went on, we identified that choreographers have a real hard time in the city creating new work. Like today I'm a dancer and I'm going to be a choreographer. Well, suddenly you're a CEO
Right.
of your own business and you have to coordinate all these people. You have to afford dance space. You have to get the funding. There's a lot of legalities that come up once you have a company, and we're not prepared as artists
Wow.
to do that. So that's why we created the Emerging Choreographer Series.
That's amazing. This
Yeah.
is really like mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in a sense, it grew up very fast. We've been doing this only since 2013. Is the sixth year.
That's it.
Yeah, only 6
Wow.
years. And so we started
But
with
it's
5
really
people.
grown, hasn't
It's
it?
really grown.
Hey,
yeah.
look, it's Christopher Umpezverde Nunez. Hello,
Hey, Christopher.
Wow, look at
He's
all
one
your
of our
friends
past
come.
choreographers,
Christopher is actually one of last year ECS 2018. Also a great performer, great choreographer. Dear guy. It became almost like a little brother for us.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's just scroll back for a second because we got so many people that checked in. Because we started to video and then we had problems with the sound,
Right.
so we restarted. So Annette Zito has joined us, Billy Young, Leo, of course, Michael Bobo, Jennifer Garcia, Seamus McGuire, Michael Barberi, Jay Rivera, so many wonderful people. Massimo, of course, John Pandish, Tony DeMelio, all great artists here. Michael
Mhm.
Hudson, all of these people that have joined us, Jeannie Craig, all great artists from New York, from New England, from Italy, from all over the world. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. And we're talking to Nicola Ivasi and Kevin Albert. Okay, so Kevin,
Yeah.
not Massimo, I'm sorry. Nicola, you came to New York with, you said, the Martha Graham
Yeah.
Dance Company. That
It's funny because funny enough, I came to New York as it was one of those vacation studies for dancers. There's
Wow.
an organization in Italy that organized trips for dancers,
dancers.
only for dancer. Actually, I would like to shout out to Natalia Tulipani of Broadway, Italy. because
Broadway, Italy,
it
wow.
really changed my life. Meaning that was this trip organized. It was 3 weeks of intensive study in English. We had the courses at the NYU. And then it basically guided us into choosing classes in different schools around the
Wow.
city. You could do music, you could do tap, you could do contemporary. And I was like, let's try this Martha Graham. I had no idea what Martha Graham was or what the
Really?
technique was about. So I tried a few classes. So in those 3 weeks, I studied at the Martha Graham School when it still was in the old building
Okay.
on 63rd Street. And then in that last week, they had an audition for the yearly training program. And so I took the audition. And so they had 2 full scholarships, and
Wow.
and one of them went to me.
That's amazing.
The other one went to what became my best friends in the city, Maurizio Nardi. Then he went on and danced for the Martha Graham Company. And then I met Kevin, and I eventually moved, not away, but I moved it
In a different
sideways,
directions.
in a
Yeah.
different direction.
But that's what
Um,
happens sometimes when you're
Yeah.
when you're creating things or when you're taking class. Where you sometimes will start on a road and then there's side roads. It doesn't mean that you're not going down your path, but there are so many. That's the thing about New York.
Right.
There are so many paths to take.
Yeah. And that's why we started the company, because we wanted to create opportunities for ourselves and, like you with this show,
For
all of our
others.
amazing friends.
Yeah.
I mean, my friends are some of the most talented people that are in this city, you know,
Right.
and
That's
it's not,
the thing.
it's not like everyone's working all the time
Oh, Leo.
because it's a really hard business, you know?
Okay, Leo. Leo's asking if I danced with I danced for the Graham. Now it's called Graham 2. Back in the day, it was called the Martha Graham Ensemble, which is the second company.
Okay.
So we would do mostly, we would go in schools to do outreach program. We would basically do lecture demonstrations to
Okay.
show the technique and show the pieces.
But he wasn't in the company.
It was,
Yeah.
no, it was not in the company. It was the Martha Graham Ensemble. It was called back in the days,
But he was a beautiful dancer, I'll tell you.
Pete,
I guess.
you.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're a beautiful dancer, yeah.
So responsibly, no, I never danced for Pina Bausch, but I one of the times that I would love to say, I did perform some work by Anna Sokolov. Now, Anna Sokolov is not very well known as
Okay.
Martha Graham, of course, or Pina Bausch, but I say, maybe mistakenly, that Anna Sokolov is basically the missing link between Martha Graham and Pina Bausch.
Wow, that's
Because
really
Anna
cool.
Sokolov was a contemporary of Martha Graham, so she learned Martha Graham technique. She then spent around her own company, and she was Pina Bausch's teacher at Juilliard.
Wow.
So not a lot of people make that connection, but if you go and see Anna Sokolov pieces, you really see where Pina Bausch is coming from.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, when you piece these things together, it's almost like watching movies out of sequence.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
sometimes, right?
And
And,
you're
then
like,
you
oh,
go back and
that's
go,
why.
this makes sense. Now,
Yeah.
Kevin, you are also a dancer, right?
Yeah.
Which I didn't know.
Yep.
Okay, so tell us about that.
Well, at
The dance part of your life.
I started dancing when I was maybe 14 at the Dance Factory in Springfield, Vermont.
I love it.
and,
Go
Which
Vermont.
was an amazing place. And the woman that ran the place saw something in me, even though I was like a little fat kid who loved to dance and could dance, even though I was a little fat kid.
What,
And but it was
Isn't
like
it-
that was the thing back then. It was like everyone.
but I love that even as a young guy and even as like a chubby young guy, you still wanted to express yourself. How
I
beautiful
loved it so much
that you didn't hide.
And my teacher took me seriously.
Of
as well.
course.
She didn't treat me like the little fat kid. She treated me like somebody who could dance.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a
you
big
know,
deal.
I
She
mean,
was really great.
I just find Eddie Kutu has joined us. He's my friend from high school, a very talented guy as well. And he has a hair salon in Connecticut called Blades. And we want to shout out Veronica. has
Hey,
joined us.
hey,
How
Veronica.
wonderful. All our friends are joining us. This is really great. Thank you, everybody. So we're talking to Nicola Idvasi and Kevin Albert.
Yep.
And so, Kevin, so now how did you both met in New York, right?
Yep.
Yes,
So should we get to that story now?
absolutely.
Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Kevin usually tells it better.
All right, Kevin, you tell. Go ahead.
People ask us how we met.
So to put in perspective, I've been in the country for exactly 20 years.
Okay.
I moved here on September 23rd to 1998. and I've been with Kemi for 18 years.
Wow.
So basically, I'm like, I'm American. I'm part of its life for almost all.
I always
I've
tell him-
always known you two together.
Yeah.
So
I always tell Nicola when he became a citizen, I say,
Eugenia Mesa, that's my girlfriend
Hey,
Judy. Hi,
hey,
Judy.
Hey,
Hi.
Judy.
Someone was ringing the bell earlier. Was that you? Somebody's. Sometimes people just ring our doorbells, but I think Judy, because I invited her over for dinner, so maybe she'll
Oh,
come
cool.
over.
Yeah,
We'll
cool.
see.
I was going to say that after we got married, I tell him sometimes that he's Italian American now, just like Snooki, and he doesn't like that at all. He's like,
No.
I am not.
No,
So-
you are not Snooki.
No, he's not Snooki.
Whatever happened to
Hey,
Snooki?
I know.
There's Zionis as well. Zionis is one of our choreographers. She's a
Yes.
flamenco choreographer.
Yes. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
flamenco,
Now,
right?
where
Correct.
can we see all these wonderful choreographers? Where did the
There would be
performances take place?
On the stage in the Little Theater at La Guardia Performing Arts Center in Long Island City, part of the La Guardia College, on February 25th and 26th, 2019, 7:30 p.m.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, and
You-
we'll talk more about that program, but maybe we'll do this how did we meet and then get back to it.
that's what
Yes.
I want
Is that
to
you wanna
do.
do?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, this is what happens. People will pop on. So you were going to have an itinerary that these guys have so much going on. But this is what I want to hear. So let's go back to how you met, and then we will talk about they have so much stuff that they're doing. So how did you meet?
Well, we met on the subway essentially, and
What?
one day I got on the subway and I saw him, and there was an attraction, and the subway got closer and closer. We were standing right next to each other. We didn't speak, and then I got off at my stop when the doors closed, and we looked at each other, and the train took off, and he went
No.
further.
I call it subway cruising.
Yeah, it was like subway cruising.
So, but you got off and you left.
Yeah,
He
I
left.
did. I got off.
you
Yeah,
left.
I was in Astoria, and he was going further into Queens. We didn't even speak, but there was like eye contact. It was like, whoa, this person, in a serious way.
Yeah, of
And
course.
so then a month and a half later on the same subway,
Jamie Allen.
Hey,
Nice job.
Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
We love Jamie Allen.
hi, I love y'all. Then about a month and a half later on the subway, I saw him again, and I got up the nerve to write my name and number on a piece of paper. And when I got off, he hadn't seen me yet. I handed him my name and number, and I said, "This is for you," and I got off the train.
That's it.
Now the details are even interesting because he got in the train at the same station, which was 57th Street at
On
Carnegie
the-
Hall.
What train was it? Do you
On
remember?
The
R
R train.
The R train.
was
which
the
is a
first
common
car-
train.
It was the first car of the R train going to Queens, and he got off both times on Stanway, which is where he used to live
Where I
back
used to
then.
live.
So the
Okay.
details are even freaky because the same car, same train, same direction was even the same.
Yeah.
Right.
And so a couple days pass, and I get this call from this guy who says his name is Nicola, and in my mind, I wrote down Nicholas because that's what I heard.
Right.
Nicholas, and he said, thank you, that's very sweet, but I'm seeing somebody, and no, thank you. And right then and there, I was already like taken because I was like, oh my god, he's not cheating. It was like, this is great.
I was serious then.
Yeah, he was serious. Serious.
I
wording it.
love that.
And so I said, okay, thank you. That's it.
But now you're even more impressed.
Right now, I'm impressed as well. But and he said, by the way, did you know someone on the train? I said, no. Why? He said, because a woman, a few stops later, when you gave me the note, came to me and handed me a note, and the note said, "You call him. You should be together. I'm so tired of losing men to men." Not that either of us were even aware of this person,
How strange is that?
but
Yeah.
she must have thought like he was attractive or something, and then I came and gave him So she left this note like a little angel, but I didn't know anybody on the train.
And the
Did
first
you
that I
ever
thought,
see that woman again?
no,
No.
we have no.
How do you know she was even real?
I know, right?
I mean, seriously, I've
we
chilled.
had the
Yeah.
paper
I
for a
tell
while.
We,
this
yeah.
And then we
stuff
lost the
blows
paper.
my mind all
Yeah.
the time. I have so many stories like this.
Yeah.
And the first thing that I thought, well, look at this jerk, sending a friend to solidify
Oh,
that.
You thought that it was her. it
Well,
was
you are on
friend.
the subway.
Yeah.
We all live in the subway, right? In New
Right.
York. So we're at the subway. Would you take the time to get a pen, a
Right.
piece of paper, to write a note and give to the guy? No, you would say, hey, call him.
Right.
Or even not.
No,
you would just
or even not.
engage.
But
You
the
know?
note.
But
No.
to take the time and the care to write a note and give it to me.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So this, I want to say hi to Sarah Allen Druin as well. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
We went to Italy with Sarah. And we love Sarah. She's like super mom, incredible woman.
Oh well,
Yes,
Sarah,
yes.
welcome to the
And
show.
teacher,
We're so
and
glad
she's
you're
an
here.
awesome lady. So we had this moment with the thing. He's dating somebody. Done. And so then I kind of move on, even though I've told all my friends about Subway Boy. I call him
The
Subway,
Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And the woman that
We have.
Yeah, we have
and
no idea.
we don't
She's
know
like
who
me.
she is.
No, we.
And
that's
so-
really crazy.
A year and a half goes by, and I'm living my life, and he's living his life. And it was on election day when I didn't vote for George Bush, but he won.
Right. Well,
Um,
that yeah.
I was
I
walking
didn't
down
vote
the
for him
street.
either,
I
but
was
he
walking
won.
down
November
the street.
7, 2000.
2000. I was walking down the street going to the vegetable market to buy tomatoes, and I passed by this guy who had like a shaved head, and we were attracted to each other. He says I was masturbating the tomatoes because I was holding the tomatoes for a long time. I was no longer looking
Well,
at the
tomatoes are
tomatoes.
Italian,
Right.
of course.
Put
Yeah.
it back. Take another one. Look
Yeah, I
at
was
me.
looking at
Oh, I
tomatoes.
see. Oh, so you would. That's what he means. But
Yeah.
okay, so you were looking at a lot going on
I
with
was
the
looking at the
tomatoes.
tomatoes,
Lot of
even though I wasn't.
tomato
Really, I was
handling.
looking at him, and he was waiting to cross the street, but the light changed and he didn't go, and he was still standing there. And then finally we
A lot
started.
happening with fruit.
Yeah. So we started
Subway's
talking.
fruits.
Yeah. We started talking, and we exchanged numbers, and we said, "Okay, let's get
Was this
together."
the same?
And I didn't put it
Put it
together.
to-
that
are
it
you
was him.
kidding me?
And he didn't fully put it together that it was me. It was a year and a half later.
Oh
Yeah.
So
my!
then,
So on the subway, back on my way to the city, I'm like, Kevin. I didn't remember the number. I said, Kevin. He lives that way is Steinway, which was the train station that he got off
Right.
a year and a half. So you know when the sixth sense, you are Italian, so
Of
you know
course.
the
Yes,
gut feeling.
Of course.
I know.
That's all it's about.
I know
Right.
memory, but that gut feeling said these are the same person.
Right. And there's a word for that in Italian, and I can't think of it now.
Sesto senso? No.
Maybe,
sixth sense.
yeah, like a sixth sense. But when Italians are very big on, they're very superstitious. They're all about signs. They all believe in this stuff that it's being orchestrated,
Oh.
choreographed.
Oh,
if you will.
destiny, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Destino.
Il Destino.
Destino.
look, we have Chef Victor Flores from Orso Restaurant.
Oh my
Hey,
God!
Chef.
Oh my God! I
Chef.
love Victor. Victor, we should have bet. We should have made a bet on. You know what I'm wearing? My Big Poppy shirt, Victor. Victor and I actually won $50 from Victor once on the Patriots.
Ah,
Nice.
I'm not going to rub it in, Victor, because that's not my style. But Victor always used to rub it in with me. So Kia Nelson has joined us. Rory Taggart is in Canada. He's joined us. Let's just say hi to some of our people. Hi, Victor. David Slauson has joined us. Eugenia Mesa. Hi, Poopa. That's what we call each other, Poopa. You know, in Italian
That's
and in
nice.
Spanish, just like it means little doll. Jessica Lindbergh. Hi, Jess. How are you? Callo Mesa has joined us. Jamie Allen. Okay, so this is an amazing story.
Yeah.
So now you
So
meet
we're-
twice.
yeah.
Twice you're
Three
drawn to
times.
each other.
So
Three
this is our
times.
third
Three
time
times.
now.
2 in the subway and 1 in
With the
the
tomatoes.
with the tomatoes.
With the
yes.
pomodoro.
And so that was November. That was November the 7th.
Yeah.
Election
Now
day.
we didn't get to go out for our first date until November the 18th.
Yeah.
So that is a hell of a time to wait and see if this guy is that person. So I
Wow.
was waiting. I need to.
But someone up there had planned, kept putting you in the same circles.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
So
so
three
the
times.
come on. That
Yeah.
is destino, as
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
would say in Italian.
So
There's no
November
other
8th
way.
November 18, I invited him to come and see a dance show that I was doing.
At the Polish Center in Brooklyn.
Wow.
Yes, Williamsburg. Yeah, no, it wasn't.
In
It was
Red Hook or-
no, it
no.
was in
Green.
Greenpoint.
Hi, Billy. Jeannie Gorman Wilson has joined us. Okay, Billy
Robert.
Goffey. So go ahead. So he comes to a show that you're
So
doing.
November 18
He's
Yeah.
beautiful.
is
dancer.
our first date, and he came
I
to see me
bet.
dancing. Of course, I'm half naked because I was dancing with this Mexican choreographer who's into Mayan rituals, and we're basically wearing little to nothing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he had to go pee before the performance. So, of course, I'm there stretching on the floor, and this guy comes in
No.
the
Yeah.
dressing room area
Yeah.
because he has to go by. It's the same. There wasn't a theater. There was a
Just
Hallway.
a space, a
a
space. Yeah.
center. And so I'm on the floor stretching, and this guy comes in. I'm going to the bathroom. Hi. And so he sees me before the performance. And then after the performance, we go to this bar to get a snack or like a nightcap in Astoria, close to where we both lived at that time.
Yeah.
I was living with a friend of mine. And so
Yeah,
Doing-
we had a beautiful conversation. We were sitting at a low table, really close, talking like this, and then we were wrapping up. And at the end of the time, he says to me, "Do you remember a year and a half ago on the subway?" And it was like a jolt. I went,
Because you hadn't thought of it yet?
"No, I
He
still
didn't.
hadn't put it
And
together."
have you thought of it?
I had a feeling, but I didn't have the
I
certainty.
can't believe this. So
And
now you've gone on a date.
Yeah.
He's come to see you dance, and then it dawns on you that you've seen this
We've had a
person.
great
No,
before.
I knew
together.
it from.
Oh,
That's
but
what
he
I
didn't
was
know.
figuring it
I
out,
got the
but I had
feeling,
This is
but
crazy.
I didn't have the certainty.
I have to stop for a second. This is Isabella Raskowski is really my cousin Marisa. She goes through her daughter's Facebook page. Hi, Marisa. You'll have to go back and watch the show because it's really cool. Nicola is from Italy. This is Kevin, and they just told an amazing story. Okay, so now it dawns on you. Oh my God, this is the same guy. What was your reaction, Kevin?
Well, I like I said, I jolted back and I said, "It's you."
It's you.
Yeah. And then we were
I
like
love
together from
that.
that moment. Yeah, right.
Say tu, it's
Yeah.
you. That's
And
beautiful.
a quick little funny story is that when we got up to pay the bill, Nicola, who had a fanny pack, had this like this large.
Listen, he
large-
can't
They're
be
wearing-
perfect.
they're wearing
He
both
had to have
pictures.
something.
There were so
I
many
know
goals.
there's something.
I was
what
still
is it?
Italian.
Fanny pack. All right.
And he had this large like wad of ones in his fanny pack,
Italians.
and I was like, "Oh God, no! He's like a go-go boy or something." And then he said, "Oh, I'll explain." And I thought, "Oh no!" So then he said, "Okay, to make extra money, I do the statue in front of the Metropolitan Museum of Art," and that's why he had all those ones. It was the sweetest thing, and so
So
that was
you
like
had the
we were
one-
together
Well,
from
my
that
tips,
moment.
basically.
Yeah.
So you were wow.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. I didn't know this either. This is amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
so
And
Destiny,
so then
there's no
this
other way.
is November 18 now, and I met his family that Christmas.
I never brought anyone home, but I was like, "This is the guy. This is it."
Well,
And-
obviously the
Obviously.
universe is
Right.
like hello,
Hello.
over and over. Like there's tomatoes involved.
Right.
There's subway. There's
Right.
crazy ladies with notes.
And I moved in, I think, in April.
Yep.
So we've been living together for almost 18
Since
years.
April 2001.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of each other. You know that,
No,
right?
No.
And now you have this wonderful company.
Yep.
Okay, so let me see. Oh my God, time is flying by. Now I have to stop for a second. I'm gonna do. We have a food section to our show,
Okay.
and the food section to our show is called "Go ahead, keep eating." So, and then I will do I'm talking about our food that we made tonight, and then we're going to go right into all the amazing things that you're doing because you have so many amazing things. Now, I always will talk to people and say, "What are your food restrictions or preferences?" And I emailed Nicola, and he said, "Well, I don't really have many, but
I'm Italian.
these I know, me too. We eat everything under the sun. But these are Kevin's. And so, Kevin, what were the things that you cannot have, you're allergic to, or
Well,
what are your
I
restrictions?
think Nicola listed every single thing.
Yes.
Yeah, but I love
But-
that because it
but
helped
really
me
the most
as a
important
chef.
things are-
I listed intolerances,
Yeah, thank you.
allergies.
So what
and,
were they?
yeah,
What were
and
they
The
that-
biggest
dislikes.
ones are shrimp, onions, and garlic. Those
She
are the
couldn't
things
have
that are, like,
those.
will really hurt me.
But then also
Everything else
nuts.
is kind of fine. Oh yeah, like I get little weird sores on my tongue. if I eat
Okay,
nuts.
can't have nuts.
Yeah.
You and cream. You said cream.
No,
No.
cream?
Wasn't it cream? I thought there was cream in there. I'll look back.
Oh,
at,
possibly.
but
Probably.
so no onion, no garlic.
No, goat cheese.
Goat cheese. See, you
Goat
see, I knew there was
cheese,
something.
yes.
Okay, so what did I make? I'm like, you know me with the onion and garlic. It goes in almost
I
everything.
love onion and garlic.
I know,
It
but
just
that's okay.
kills
It's
me.
all right.
Yeah.
So what? And then I was like, well, okay, we can't do shrimp. Should we do beef? And I said chicken. You said Kevin loves chicken.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I did was, here's our basic. Here's our plate. I did chicken. I sauteed, and I had to write it down because I'm so used to using certain ingredients. So I sauteed it in, marinated in peach vinegar,
Yeah.
olive oil, basil, cumin, what else? Parsley and ginger.
Ooh.
Do all things that have nothing, because a lot of spices that come with in certain things that I'm used to using always have garlic and onion. So I couldn't
Yeah.
use a lot of my like go-tos because they already have that. So that's what it is. It's kind of has a little bit, and I put it with corn and peas,
Looks delicious.
yes, over Spanish rice. So it's kind of like a Spanish kind of dish, but it has a little bit of ginger in there. So that's what we're having tonight, and a delicious salad. Now, speaking of the Mexican choreographer, I was laughing thinking about this because this is a Mexican salad, basically. So It's got well, I had to do Boston lettuce. I'm not trying to rub it in or anything like that. It's just that the Red Sox did win the World Series. I don't know if you heard that, but that's my team.
Making sure.
Yeah, so just in honor of my Sox, and I am wearing my Big Poppy shirt tonight. Okay, so I have Boston lettuce, radishes, cucumbers, little cherry tomatoes, avocado, lime. I put some lime in there, and I'm going to put some white balsamic vinegar and olive oil.
Delicious.
So yeah, but I usually put I have to make sure that I don't put anything you're allergic to. So that's that. Now it is Halloween is tomorrow after all. So here are our Dunkin' Donuts treats. America runs on Dunkin', and apparently so do we tonight. So that is that. And then Kevin, I have to show the prickly pears.
Oh my God.
One time I came to you guys, your apartment.
Yep.
For dinner. Your parents.
My
were
parents
here.
probably here, yes.
Your parents got Judy drunk. All I remember is poor Judy, because Judy is such a lightweight. She has one glass of wine and she's good. And your dad kept giving her more wine and doing the chin 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 chin. So these are prickly pears, and if you've never seen prickly pear, it's like this kind of long thing, and it has these weird things on the outside. That's why it's called bumps.
Yeah.
But you guys showed me how to do. You cut off the ends and then just get the skin off, and then you just chop it up. And they're delicious.
Yeah. Where he's from, they grow on the side of the street. Like you could just walk
They're almost
down
wild.
to the.
Really?
Yeah, you could just go pick them if you want.
And they taste like melon almost,
Yep.
right?
And there are these big seeds in it, but
Yeah.
don't worry, you just kind of like half chew them and swallow them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
You know, you
like
don't have
kind
to
of
chew
like
them. It's
pomegranate
good for your
seeds
thing, you know?
almost.
Yeah.
In a sense, yeah,
Yeah,
very close.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is our food for tonight. I just want to check with my people, and then I'm dying to hear because you have so much. We have to cover all of it. Gene Simpson done.
About the garlic.
Yes, donkeys. You know donkeys. No garlic. No garlic in anything. Right. Keep eating the no garlic edition.
No garlic
That is
edition.
hysterical because Jean's from Massachusetts like me. She lives in
You know
Indiana.
what I found?
What?
That you could throw the garlic cloves in the oil and cook them until they're brown, turning brown.
And
Take them
that's
out.
Yeah.
Because
Wish I had
people
known
that
that.
have garlic issues, it's to the flesh, not necessarily the oil.
Really?
Yeah. So
Well, that's
I cook
good to
with
know.
Garlic, I just take it out.
Okay, good to know. But
Yeah.
you know what? It was a challenge for me.
Yeah.
This is a show about being creative.
Sure.
And I, as a cook, every week have to be creative given the restrictions and the preferences that I have. And so that's where I went with. But it's going to be delicious, and I'm looking forward to it. Okay, now we have 15 minutes, and you have so much that's going on in your lives creatively and always who knows what else. But where would you like to start with
Well,
what's
probably
happening?
the International Human Rights Arts Festival.
Yes.
This is really
This is
big.
in terms of
Really
in
big.
order of time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That goes back to the idea how, 'cause as you know, we started saying about the class that we started. The goal was basically to have a training system for professional performers, and then we got into teaching the class for children, and then we got teaching the class. Now we merged into the Emerging Choreography series. But also another thing that we discovered along the way is that the class can serve really anybody.
Right.
And so a huge compliment that we received this past year, we met Tom Block. Hey, Tom, which runs the International Human Rights Art Festival.
Wow.
And we've been
So
collaborating
big.
for a couple of years. He's been coming to see the shows, and then he's been calling our people to perform at the festival with different topics. But last year he called us up and said, hey, guys, I want you to come and demonstrate your class for the festival. It's like,
For the Human Rights
Okay.
Festival. Wow. Wow.
and so that states how because he got the idea that what we do is not just to train people
Right.
technically, but it's basically trying to get people into with their own creativity.
Right.
and
So it's this continuous thing. That's what I love. Some art is done and it is there. It is. It's a perform. But then there's other things when it's classes and inspiration and projects. You just continue. It's a continuation.
And it's things that, being a performer, as you know, being a performer, you don't want to label yourself, but you need to say, I'm a singer, I do this genre of music. But again, the class are something that we started for one reason, and now they formed in all different directions. In Italy, I started doing
Oh my God,
therapeutic
someone's trying to get a hold of me.
therapeutic courses, but again, it's not art therapy. I just do the class, and people get whatever they want to get out of it.
Wow, that's
And so
great.
the same concept we developed now for the class for the International Human Rights Art Festival, and Kevin got together this way of proving and demonstrating with the audience how our training, in a sense, enhance the
And
human rights.
you mentioned some honorees, and this is very important. So who are the honorees, Kevin?
This year's honorees for the International Human Rights Art Festival are Amy Poehler, Barbara Streisand, and Kathleen Turner.
Amy
Yeah.
Poehler, Barbara Streisand, and
Amy Poehler.
Kathleen Turner.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, come on,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
And so we're connecting the principles
Amazing.
of human rights and our workshops and the work that we do, and the work that we do with choreographers, the Emerging Choreographer Series. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a very abridged version of our class in front of the audience, that we're going to have a discussion about human rights and human rights in the arts.
Wow.
And then we're going to present Patrick O'Brien and a piece that he made for our mentoring
Last
program
year.
called
Altering.
Altering.
Wow.
And it is just one of the most, I think it is the highest level of dance that you could find in New York City.
And where can we see this? Can we go to it, or is it?
Yep.
Okay.
The International Human Rights Art Festival is performing from November 12th to the 18th.
Okay.
We are presenting our piece on Sunday, November 18th at Wild Project, which is at 195 East 3rd Street. That's the name of the theater, Wild Project.
195 East 3rd Street. And the date again?
Is Sunday, November 18th
Wow.
from 4 to 5:30.
5:30.
Mare Nostrum Elements, 4 to 5:30. And you'll see some beautiful, I mean, we're asking these artists who we've worked with to be in the class. And so you'll see just some of the most
And let's
talented
spell
people
Mare
doing
Nostrum.
it.
It's go ahead, spell it. So if people are looking for it, it's MARE
NOSTRUM
elements.
elements.
Okay, I'm gonna post all that. We had to restart our video, so all the stuff I tagged. But once I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna do that. So don't worry about it. You'll be connected to all that stuff.
Yeah,
So you're doing the international,
Human Rights Art Festival.
unbelievable.
And the class that we're presenting, it's what we use in a sense as the audition for the Emerging Choreographer Series.
Wow.
Because when we were putting it together, we said, how do we make this accessible to everybody?
Right.
And if we just said, show us your best video, it sort of puts people with money ahead.
That's
Because if you
amazing.
can produce a great video, you can really influence the person that's watching it.
Right.
And so we asked these people to come into our workshop and devise movements in the workshop and put something together in the workshop. So it puts everyone on the same
That's wonderful.
level playing field.
So-
And that's why we audition using this technique. And so we feel very strongly about what people get out of it because we get a lot of feedback. We see people's growth. But it should be very interesting on November 8th, Sunday, November 18th from 4 to 5:30 at Wild
Beautiful.
Project.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Very, very exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, next thing you're doing, because I know you have more stuff.
Yeah. Next thing then, we already started working, but in January, we start actually, we'll be rehearsing with the Emerging Choreographer Series
With our
2019.
new group of choreographers.
New group of choreographers.
And how
I
many
think
choreographers do you have?
This year we have 9 choreographers. Right?
Wow, that's a lot.
We
eight.
have
Eight,
We had
yes.
9 last year.
Yeah. This
Kevin,
year
you
we
are
have,
fact
8.
checking here as
I
we
am.
go.
It
I love
is.
that.
We don't want
We
to
have
be,
a fact
you know,
checker among us.
Now I feel like at the Oscar because I got myself the note. So basically, they usually do
So
between
cute.
5 and 10, but depending on funding, depending how long we want the show to be. So this year we have 8 people. Now 6 people are coming from the auditions. We auditioned about 79 choreographers, and those are dancers, all talented. They're all dancers that we don't watch videos, we don't meet people, we have no idea who they are. We do classes.
We meet them at
Wow.
the workshop.
So
We
That's
get to know them as they
fantastic.
we've been
create.
actually working in the classroom
This is
teaching for
fantastic.
with 79 people.
Yeah.
Then out of that
79
we
people.
narrow down to 35. We do a second round when they start talking about the project. So they start thinking about the show that they want to produce. And then out of that, we present 12 of them to a panel of professional choreographers. So
Wow.
people that have been doing this for ages. And then this panel helps us choose the 6.
The final 6.
That
That's
would be,
amazing.
Yeah.
And how long does this whole process take?
The audition starts usually in mid-September
Okay.
until mid-October, November. And then the program starts in January, early January
Amazing.
until the end of February.
That's amazing. Julie Angelina has joined us. She's from Australia. Hi, Julie. And
Hi,
she's
Julie.
Italian.
Oh, hi, Julie.
Hi, Julie. But this is amazing.
Yeah.
Really. It takes, I mean, there's so much that goes
Yeah.
into it.
So this year choreographer are Joe Monteleone, which
Okay.
was our friend joined earlier, Trin Saxon, Dolly Sphere, Xianis Barrera, also she came in online.
Wow.
Kelsey Rondeau, and then we have one top choreographer. We chose her like not in the audition because somebody we met last year audition,
We've seen
and
her perform many
we've seen her
times.
performance, so we
Yeah.
love top. So we basically offer Cristina Carminucci, also
Christina
Italian.
Carminucci. Okay. Wow.
And so she would be the top choreographer. And then every year, starting 2 years ago, we have a returning choreographer. So me and Kevin
Cool.
decide we pick one person that we want to basically to keep pushing their goal. So this year we have Garrett Parker, who was
Garrett
one of the
Parker.
choreographers
Incredible.
last year.
This is so exciting.
Yeah, you got to see Garrett.
Leo posted some stuff. Leo. Okay, so we'll have to thank you everybody
Thank you.
that helps us out and post things. This is really wonderful. Michael Bradley has joined us.
And so Garrett will be joining us as a returning choreographer. And then since 3 years ago, we have a relationship with the Accademia Nazionale di Danza in Rome. So we have an exclusive audition for them, for their students. And every year I select one person in Italy that will join us for 2 months.
Amazing.
All
So this is
paid, all-
this is going on and on.
It's going on, yeah.
Everything's
Goes on every year,
connected.
yeah.
Everything's connected.
And so this
How
year,
beautiful.
choreographer will be Alicia Yalicico, and then she will be joining us. She will be arriving basically January 3rd, and so 8 people that will be basically working with us.
Beautiful.
It's a, in a sense, it's
If
a
people want
residency.
you have a website that they can go to?
Yeah,
Okay.
www.mnelements.org.
M.
And element. Oh, yeah, Leo. Posse.
Leo,
See, Leo,
Leo,
thank
Leo.
you.
Didn't I tell you I had
We
a
love
ton?
you, Leo.
I said Leo is the most amazing.
So you know what I'm sorry to interrupt
No,
you.
go ahead, please.
You know what the thing that we need to talk about with this program specifically is that we created this program. We're a nonprofit organization. We find all the money. We get grants. We ask people. We beg. We don't steal, and we don't borrow. We just ask them very
Right.
nicely. And what the choreographers get is they get all of their dancers get paid, and they get paid as choreographers. They get up to 60 hours of free rehearsal space.
Wow.
They get info sessions with the executive director of Real Dance New York, which is a dance company that just opened up a new space in Astoria, Queens.
Wow.
It's an amazing space. So if you're a dancer out there, it's Real Dance New York or Real Dance Center. Is that what they're calling it?
The Real Dance Center, yeah.
Yeah. So the woman who runs that whole kit and caboodle comes in and talks to the choreographers about how to talk about your work and how to promote your work and how to write about your
Because
work.
that's part of it that people don't always understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part, I think,
You have
of
to
this
talk
business
about
is
You need to
promoting.
be manager. You need to be you need to be a manager, businessman. You need to sell. I mean, you have a show, but then if you don't get people to be interested to talk about it, to
Right.
come and see the show, then you better just be in your living room.
Right, exactly. Well, without an
There's no
audience, you
point.
don't have, exactly. What are
Yeah.
you doing?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You have to get it out
we
there.
also, so it's the one,
Amy
executive
Harrison.
director Amy Harrison of Real Dance New York. We set them up with an accountant who teaches them how to write like a show budget. If you're producing your own work, we hook them up with a light designer, a sound designer, costume designer, all these people that
This is
will work with them
amazing.
and help them understand what they're doing and how do they do these, make these different ways. This year we have a social media person that's going to help them. How do you maximize your own social
Wow.
media and all this kind of stuff?
And coordinate all the efforts.
Right. And so we're trying to help them be better business people out
This
there.
is a complete package of
Yeah.
this is, yeah.
And they don't pay anything. We pay them to be a part of it. We select them and then we pay them. And
So
that,
their work-
that
they-
specifically makes this a unique program because no one else does that.
Yeah.
People will make you pay to be a part of that program.
Okay,
But we're
we
the
have
only ones that pay them.
3 minutes left.
Yes.
All right.
So what else do you have that you
I
have to
feel
get
that
out
before on that talk, we must be not just because we have to, because it's somebody that really, this wouldn't be possible if we didn't have the support of LaGuardia Performing Arts Center and Stephen Heath. Stephen Heath is the managing director of LaGuardia Performing Arts Center. He's
there?
trying
So a shout
really
out to
push-
LaGuardia Performing Arts
Absolutely.
Center.
Yeah.
Because basically we
Thank you.
raise the money to pay before the choreographer, but then the theater, some rehearsal space,
Of course.
all the tech and the crew and the box office, that's LaGuardia.
They
Mm.
give that to
So
us.
half of the
amazing.
budget, when you think about building a show, you need the theater. To go
Of
and rent a
course.
theater,
Yeah.
it's a lot of money in New
Yeah,
York.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So LaGuardia comes with that balance. And so basically, if not more, half of the budget is basically done in kind. And also Stephen Heath, a few years ago, agreed to basically support, and he's going to help us pay the dancers. So
Yeah.
we pay the
We
feel that
choreographers,
We,
and
it's,
they
it's
want to make
important
sure
to us
that
that
dancers
dancers get paid.
Oh, see, this is
Dancers
beautiful.
never get paid. Dancers need to get paid.
I
So we
know.
do this to say something about that. And very quickly, the last person I think that we want to thank is our councilman, because
Yes.
he supports us in the government.
And
it's
who
very
is
important.
who is your councilman?
It's Councilman Jimmy Van Bramer, who's also running for the Queensboro president this year.
Yeah.
And so we will follow Jimmy, and we will vote for Jimmy, and we will support Jimmy forever.
And Jim,
He
okay,
is amazing.
all right.
Yeah,
So,
El Pagano
oh, wonderful. So I want to thank everybody that helped us with the sound in the beginning of the show because we had sound issues. So you will see 2 videos on our page. I'm going to, once I finish this, I'm going to, Jimmy, how much time do we have?
A minute.
Thank you, honey.
Right.
Okay, I want to thank Jimmy Bell of Armed Radio. I want to thank Joe Savino of Armed Radio. They have every week we're on, and we had some sound issues in the beginning, but we fixed them. So the first video that I started, I'm going to go back and delete. This is the second video, but this is the one. Then I will add all the links to it. We want to thank you. Come back every week, 9 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday nights. What's the Story with Maria? Please go and like my page. I would love it. And we appreciate and love you. Do not forget to vote.
Don't
Yes.
forget to vote.
Next Tuesday, this is no joke. Go out and vote and remember who supports your arts. I'm not going to, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody. We love and appreciate
Ciao.
Bye.
you. Ciao tutti.
Ciao.
Ciao belli. Ciao, ciao.